just because I get to spend more time in the chat right now because I'm not on the streams and I get to fellowship with the people that I was ministering to, doesn't mean that I'm out to get you, even though it kind of makes me chuckle that it aggravates you. But that's your fault. That's because your conscience pricks you. I'm sorry that's the case, but I do want you to be helped.
When a narcissist apologizes, because it can be actually kind of confusing, right? Our narcissistic friends don't really apologize that much. So, when I ask you, what do you do with a narcissist apology? This isn't a riddle, and there isn't a punchline, though I do have a few thoughts about what to do with a narcissist apology that would require obscene language, and I don't want to go there. So let's start simple. Given that they don't like to take responsibility for anything, why do they ever apologize? Because right now, drop it in the comments. How many of you have had a narcissist say, I'm sorry to you? I bet it's a lot of you. It would seem that they wouldn't apologize, right? Especially since they do not take responsibility for their behavior. And by definition, an apology is taking responsibility, right? Not really. An apology done correctly is taking responsibility. Addressing the other person's feelings, striving for reconciliation, and committing to learning from it, that's an apology. Unfortunately, that's not what a narcissistic apology is. A narcissistic apology is a way of sort of keeping the trains running on time, of getting off the hook for something, of getting back to the way they want things to be. It's just a way of like, let's just dust that away so we can keep going. So let's take a look at the anatomy of a narcissistic apology. First of all, you're going to notice in their apology, they do not take responsibility for what they did. So here are some common apology statements that narcissists will give you. They'll say, I'm sorry you feel that way. Or, I'm sorry that you think that. Or they might say, I'm sorry it didn't go the way you want. I am sorry you feel hurt. All are very common narcissistic apologies. And in all of these apologies, what you see is that they are not apologizing for something they did or something they said. They are, in essence, though, using the apology as a way of gaslighting you and invalidating your experience. Hey, I'm sorry you feel that way. Kind of meaning that you probably shouldn't. Now, let's look at the anatomy of a healthy apology. A healthy apology might look something like this. I'm really sorry for what I said. I can see that you're hurt, and I am so sorry that my words hurt you. Or you could try, I'm so sorry for what I did to you. I didn't tell the truth, and that's not okay. I'll strive to do better. A healthy apology takes responsibility, acknowledges the feelings of the other person, and commits to change. Responsibility, acknowledgement, and commitment. As you see in the narcissistic apologies, there's almost never any real responsibility taken. Instead, they pathologize the hurt party or the harmed party for their feelings or for taking issue with what the narcissist did. And if you haven't heard it yet, just a reminder, narcissists don't really change. So the other mistake that people can make once a narcissist apologizes to them is that they may now believe, great, they apologized. Well, now they get it. See, they see what they did wrong, so they won't do it again. Not true. Many, many times, a narcissist, when they actually do apologize, it can be a byproduct of a fight that you had with them, where they were, in fact, in the wrong. I can't believe you did this and won't say sorry, and then you're really angry at them, okay? Well, it's a bit of a headache for them if you're angry. They may go through their whole narcissistic rage, but once you get angry, you may actually stop giving them supply. So they may apologize to make things go back to how they want things to be. But the idea that their apology means that they understand what they did and that they're going to change their behavior, it isn't true. And if you hold that belief, it's likely that you're going to be very disappointed. When healthy people apologize, they tend to not make the same mistake again and again and again, or do the same bad behavior again. It's not that way with narcissists. They apologize so they can have their lives back the way they want them. They don't care that they hurt someone else, so they just do it again. Now, we see this on a public scale all the time. The celebrity or the tyrannical CEO or the tyrannical politician, they do a bad thing because that's what they do. They do bad things. Now, obviously, they're not writing their own apologies. They have an enabling publicist to do that. And then the sorry, because people love hearing that people they put up on a pedestal are sorry. We come to find out that that sorry was for a behavior, but that was just one of many in a long chain of scandals. We've all seen the press conferences where they offer an anemic, I'm sorry, maybe they even fake a few tears, and it doesn't ring true. But we accept it, which is fine. But then we don't get to be surprised when they do it again. Saying sorry ends up as a get-out-of-jail-free card, and everyone accepting those apologies become their enablers. If you grew up in a narcissistic family system, you are used to empty apologies. On the rare day you would get an apology, then in your childlike faith, you would believe they actually get it and wouldn't say something awful again. But that's not what would happen. The family member would apologize, do it again, apologize, do it again. And sadly, if you are in couples therapy and trying to work through a relationship with a narcissist, if your therapist is not wise to narcissism, you may find yourself gaslighted and being told that your narcissist apology in therapy is something that you should accept without question. But as we all know, not everyone has the luxury of leaving a relationship with a narcissist. So what do you do with their pseudo-apology, gaslighting messes that they put in front of you? Number one, see it for what it is. An attempt by the narcissist to just keep life moving forward and giving you an apology that is more about invalidation and gaslighting than about genuine contrition. But most importantly, do not see their apology as a commitment to change, because that can set you up for the exhaustion of disappointment, which just isn't worth it. And an apology also doesn't mean that they get it, especially the twisted sorts of apologies that they offer, like, I'm sorry you feel that way. These apologies can actually leave you feeling worse than you did before you ever got the apology. Now, lots of people ask me, do narcissists apologize? That's the question. That's how this video began. And my answer to them is always not really. Just saying the words, I'm sorry, don't qualify as an apology. You need all of the essential ingredients that make up an apology: awareness, responsibility, and a commitment to change. In the absence of these things, it's just narcissistic window dressing. You just need to keep your eyes open. And keep in mind too, when a narcissist does a bad thing, one of the things that gets triggered for them is shame. And when they have that shame reaction, they get mad, but they also get uncomfortable. Their apology is sometimes a way of pushing that shame feeling away. But it's all about them, and it has nothing to do with what an apology should be about, which is reconciliation and the rebuilding of trust. So next time you get a narcissistic apology, recognize what it really is. Definitely don't view it as a call for change, and you decide whether or not you want to accept it or not.